Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Yo, full-time family, UFC heavyweight swinging bang Derrick Lewis, or for this fight's sake, King Kong, is detailing his beef with Francis Ngannou the Predator, or for this fight's sake, Godzilla. Ahead of their UFC 226 Slugfest, Derrick Lewis joined the MMA Junkie radio station today, and he detailed a little bit of the history of their beef. He said, "Me and Francis Ngannou have fought on the same card a couple of times now, and after the fight, after one of the fights, you know, he came up to me and out of nowhere was like, you know, you're gonna be my next opponent." And he said, so, but then after he won his next fight, he called everyone out but me. You know what I'm saying? He said, so after that, I called him out, and then he did another interview, and he was asked what he was thought about me, and he was talking shit about me, saying I'm too slow and this and that, and he would beat me with ease. Ever since then, he's been talking shit, Derrick Lewis is saying about Francis Ngannou. He said, "I just wish we were getting pay-per-view points, though. That sucks. I don't know why they want us to sell the fight, but we're not getting paid extra. It's stupid." Now, I'm going to suspend the reality for a little while and just talk about, you know, King Kong versus Godzilla for a little bit, because that's what this fight is. It's going to be an amazing fight on UFC 226, and for some reason, you know, you might think, like, King Kong, Godzilla, why you say that? Is it just because it's two big heavyweights clashing? Yeah, two big heavyweights everybody's wanting to see clashing in the octagon, and for some reason, I don't know why, Derrick Lewis is just King Kong here, and Francis Ngannou is Godzilla. I don't know why, it's just like, I know which one is which. You know, you might just think, oh, King Kong versus Godzilla, I get it, you're comparing it to two fights. Like, no, motherfucker. Derrick Lewis is King Kong in this fight. Francis Ngannou is Godzilla. And whenever they come out to the octagon, I'm expecting motherfucking fire breathing and all type of shit, bro. That's the type of fight this is. There's so much excitement built up for this fight, and it's partly because the back and forth that's been going on, but also just because America loves to see two black motherfuckers going at it. No, I'm just kidding, but Derrick Lewis did say that in a past interview before, but we're not gonna be woke on this video. Fuck the dumb stuff. We're getting into the fuckery. Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, bro. It's gonna be a good fight on an amazing card. Check out this UFC 226 card so far. If I can actually show it, 1 second. It's got Yancy Medeiros versus Mike Perry. That's a fucking slugfest coming out. Of course, headlined by Miocic versus Cormier, champion versus champion super fight. But 1 second, I actually have the card on here. Alright, so yeah, here's the card. Check this out. Now, Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, I have to admit, aside from Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega, is the fight I'm looking forward to the most on this card. Of course, it's heavyweights. Both of these guys are known to knock guys out, Derrick Lewis and Francis Ngannou. You're not expecting anybody to come in here and, you know, hold the other one against the fence, trying to, you know, fight a smart, safe fight, you know, kind of like Stipe Miocic was forced to do against Francis Ngannou. Now, I've got to admit, that's the smartest game plan. Shit, if I'm Derrick Lewis, I might want to take a page out of Stipe Miocic's book, because clearly that's the only person that was able to beat Francis Ngannou in the UFC, so you might want to, you know, use his strategy to win the fight, try and tire Ngannou out. Hell, here, Derrick Lewis, you might want to go for a motherfucking takedown. Now, as a fan, that's not what we're expecting. Like I said, we're expecting pure fucking fire-breathing fuckery in this fight, but that's not necessarily, that don't have to be the reality, but, you know, at the same time, that this is a fight that's really, you know, we're looking forward to, and we're expecting more of a slugfest. But with that being said, there's a lot of slugfest potential knockout fights on this card. Actually, the only fucking wrestlers on this card, I believe, are in the main event. Every other fight to me looks like it's going to be probably a knockout. Paulo Costa versus Uriah Hall. A lot of people are expecting a KO in that fight. It's not like Uriah Hall is going to come in here trying to out-wrestle the young stud Paulo Costa, who's looking to make a name for himself. People are really predicting Paulo Costa to come in here and win that fight via KO. But we saw Uriah Hall get upset KOs over people like Gegard Mousasi, you know what I'm saying? So there's probably going to be a knockout in that fight. Let's go to fucking Yancy Medeiros, who's coming off of one of the fights of the year with Cowboy Oliveira, and then more recently he actually came back and did he lose the fight to Donald Cowboy Cerrone, but still he's been in two very high profile fights himself. Yancy Medeiros taking on fan favorite knockout artist Mike Perry. Boom, that's likely to be a fucking war knockout. Go Kansaki, kickboxing legend, not wrestling legend, not jiu-jitsu legend, kickboxing legend, coming over fighting Khalil Roundtree. He's coming over looking for the KO. Rafael Assunção versus Rob Font. former champion versus Rob Font, 2 bantamweights, could be a decision, but Rob Font's also got some KOs in his career down there as bantamweight, and he's fighting a veteran slash former legend who, you know what I'm saying? So you're not expecting no wrestling or jiu-jitsu in that. You know, that's not what the casual fans are looking forward to. Whenever you're getting casual fans ready, they want to see the slugfest, the wars, you know, the back and forth. That's what the casual fans are really into. They're not into the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling and the smart fighting, you know what I'm saying, strategic fighting. So this card is really built for the casual audience in my mind, because whenever I'm talking to my brother who doesn't watch UFC that much about this fight, the fucking microwave, I'm gonna be saying, bro, Paulo Costa, boom. All of these fights are likely to end in knockout brawls. And then, of course, you got Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier, Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega. He's probably going to watch this whole card because it's such a big card. But with that being said, it's a combined effort. It's not just because Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou I want to watch this card. I'm looking at this whole card so far that's not even full yet. Like, what the fuck? This whole card is nuts. I'm talking about the Gokhan Saki fight, the Mike Perry versus Yancy Medeiros, Paulo Costa versus Uriah Hall, Rafael Assunção versus Rob Font, Ngannou versus Lewis, Max Holloway versus Ortega, and of course Miocic versus Cormier. Now, when you're talking about the fights that have the potential to be just fucking insane, the one I would probably take off the table, and it could be still Stipe Miocic versus Cormier. Miocic could come in here and knock Cormier out. We're not really expecting Cormier to come in here and knock out Miocic too much. You know, if Cormier wins that fight, there could be some wrestling in that fight. Either way, we saw Stipe Miocic's game plan versus Francis Ngannou kind of wear him down. He could try and do that to Cormier. Cormier might try, you know, so that's not going to be really the selling point of this pay-per-view, even though it's the headline, except for the fact that they're both the champions, champion versus champion super fight. But it's not like Miocic and Cormier have a heated rivalry or you're expecting a fucking super exciting fight. That's where the rest of this card comes in. All of these other fights, you're like, oh my god, this whole card is fucking stacked, including Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega. That's even a fucking hell of a featherweight fight. Brian Ortega's looking like a world beater, first person to finish slash knock out Frankie Edgar. Coming on, but he's known more for his jiu-jitsu, crazy fucking strangle dudes, known to come back in fights, versus Max Holloway, the fucking prodigy right now, 10-11 fight win streak, was just about to fight fucking Habib, last lost to Conor McGregor. Max Holloway ain't fucking around, it's the blessed era. So that's another super fight on this fucking card. So this whole card is insane, but I will admit Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou is probably one of the fights, if not the fight, the casual fans and just a lot of fans in general are the most excited for it. But with that being said, as far as a heated rivalry, even when Derrick Lewis explained his beef with Francis Ngannou, that ain't no real beef. It ain't like Francis Ngannou came up to him one day and fucking spit on him or said, yo, you know, it ain't like they got like a super real fucking, I hate you, fucking King Kong, you're taking everything I worked for, motherfucker. It ain't that type of rivalry here. Really, the fans wanted to see this fight before they were talking trash about each other. This is a fight that the fans really started to build up, and I don't really know where that comes from. I mean, you could go the Derrick Lewis route. Maybe the fans just wanted to see these fucking two black fucking savage knockout artists go at it. I mean, I don't know how much that really plays into it, but I do know that this fight has been being called for a while. I mean, a lot of fans have been talking about Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou for almost the last 2 years, damn near. Francis Ngannou was on his own path. They were on different paths. Francis Ngannou was going up en route to be fighting for the heavyweight championship. Derrick Lewis didn't never really fight for the title, but now they've kind of met back down. Like Francis Ngannou lost that title fight pretty embarrassingly, and Derrick Lewis got a big comeback win. So these guys are at the perfect time to fight each other, on top of this fight's been building up for a while, and they've even gotten to selling the fight themselves. You know what I'm saying? As he said, Francis Ngannou did say he was too slow, but Derrick Lewis was, you know, where's Francis tired ass at? When after Francis's performance, Derrick Lewis took a couple shots, so they've been selling the fight for sure. With that being said, I just wanted to touch on real quick when he said, I wish we were getting pay-per-view points. That sucks. I don't know why they want us to sell the fight, but we're going to get paid extra. It's stupid. Well, part in that is, you know, I'm sure a lot of these guys are going to want pay-per-view points on this card. I think this card's going to sell a lot, not only because Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier, you know, who are renowned MMA legends, two of the greatest fighters of all time, are going to be in a champion versus champion super fight, which brings a lot to it on paper. But also, fans are going to be excited about all the fights on this card. So I do think this card is going to go very well. But as far as championship points, that really only goes to champions and people fighting in main events. I would say only champions, but there was the case where, like, if you recall, Nate Diaz got, I believe, championship points when he fought Conor McGregor on short notice. Yana Kunitskaya, I'm not sure if she got pay-per-view points when she fought Cyborg, but I wouldn't have been too surprised. Maybe she just got a big payday or something. But usually that's reserved for people that are fighting in main events of pay-per-views or fighting in champion fights or for the belt. Even though Derrick Lewis does, like a lot of people, understand that this is a fight that everybody wants to see. But we have seen other fighters renegotiate, even in if that's the case sometimes. Like, you know, maybe Holly Holm wasn't super open to fighting Chris Cyborg in the beginning, but was like, yo, if that's the fight everyone wants to see, I might be open to a little renegotiating and fighting her. With this, that could have been the case here, even though I don't think Derrick Lewis has the same leverage as a Holly Holm, who formerly fought Ronda Rousey, former champion, had probably a little more leverage than Derrick Lewis, who's more of a heavyweight contender. Even though he's a fan favorite, he's not necessarily in too much of a position of power, even though this is a fight the fans want to see. But I will say, if you put this card on like UFC 224, yeah, the hardcore fans are watching it, but the casual fans might not tune in just to see Francis Ngannou versus Derrick Lewis if it's not on a super stacked card, you know what I'm saying? Like UFC 224, for example. I don't think the casual fans are probably going to be anywhere near that card. Who knows? Kind of like UFC Atlantic City, you know? That had some pretty low numbers, even though the card was fucking stacked, but it was competing with other things. You had, if you recall, Ninja had a fucking Fortnite tournament in Vegas on top of Adrian Broner versus Vargas. He was beefing with Tekashi 6ix9ine going into it. They had a whole big drama show in boxing, so only hardcore MMA fans were really watching that card, just like might be the case with UFC 224. Now, this is a fight, though, that's on a card that's going to be a lot bigger than those cards. So if I was a fighter, shit, I'd want pay-per-view points. I ain't mad at Derrick Lewis for saying I wish we were getting pay-per-view points, because that'd probably be a pretty nice check. And he's also helping, just this fight being booked is going to help sell this fight. And the UFC, you know, this is a big opportunity for Derrick Lewis. Even if he's not getting pay-per-view points, you know, you're on a card that everyone's going to be looking at. If Derrick Lewis comes in here and knocks out Francis Ngannou, bro, pew, motherfucking stock through the roof, because Stipe Miocic wasn't even able to do that. You know, it wasn't Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou wasn't the most exciting fight. This is a fight a lot of people are going to be looking forward to, and you're going to have the casual audience on you, so this is a big opportunity for you. As a matter of fact, Mark Hunt recently just came out and said, why does this guy get to fight Ngannou? I'm sure there's a lot of guys that Derrick Lewis was like, you know what I'm saying, if he tried to renegotiate, possibly like we talked about with Holly Holm, she might have been able to do with versus Cyborg or whatever, they would be like, you know what, I'm sure the fans would, this is already going to be a great card. Mark Hunt versus Ngannou might be the answer. So this is a great fight, and it's still a huge opportunity for Derrick Lewis. I mean, I kind of understand the uncomfortableness maybe just a little, because there's not like a real heated rivalry. He's kind of trying to have to fake it till he makes it. Like, you know, yeah, you know, he's been talking shit on me, you know, like he called me out or something. He called me slow. It's not like a super rivalry, like they really want to fucking tear each other apart. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's still a fight a lot of the fans want to see, and this is a huge opportunity for Derrick Lewis. If he can come in here and knock out Francis Ngannou, bro, that might be time to motherfucking get a little bit of renegotiating going on. I wouldn't even be mad, because this is a great fight. A lot of fans want to see on a huge card. Well, you've got three champions on this card already. It's champion versus champion super fight, Holloway versus Ortega. And then, as I said before, of course, I don't think there's any fucking wrestlers on this card as far as the prelims are concerned. It's going to be like Slugfest all the way into the main event pay-per-view, which is absolutely insane. I'm curious to see how that plays out. With that being said, it is what it is. Derrick Lewis is detailing his beef, or should I say, King Kong is detailing his beef with Godzilla ahead of their UFC 226 Slugfest. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.